Good afternoon, Fantasy Bay. Mike Williams here, and today we're going to be going over the Week 11 waiver wire. Let's get it started. We're going to start off with Josh Allen. He may be owned in a lot of your leagues, but I still want you to check him out. He's been playing pretty well, and I think he's going to play well this week. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had an okay game this week. Mind you, we all expected him to be playing better, but I do think that his schedule is light, so Sam Darnold should be an okay add. Kyle Allen played a decent game in the snow against the Packers last week. Not too bad. I think that he should have a solid game this week. I don't think that he's going to be an upside play, but I do think that he has a solid floor that's going to be fine. Derek Carr is actually the one person on this list that I know that is available in most leagues, and I actually think he's going to be play pretty well. He's been playing pretty well recently. He's going against the Bengals. The Bengals are trash. They're pretty much giving up. I don't even know if AJ Green's going to play, so it might be just a domination. But I do think that Derek Carr comes up and has a decent game. These last 4 games, he's been okay. 20 points, 29, 23, 14. That last one was meh against the Chargers, but I do think that he has a decent game this week. Jimmy GQ. If any of you saw the game last night, man, the back and forth on that one, I don't know about you, but I had Chris Carson, and I needed him to get more than 15 points and less than 20, and I won by 0.3 points. Whew. I'm very pleased about that. But back to Jimmy G, it was a good game, other than the fact that it looked a little bit like a deer in headlights towards the end. He lost his number one receiver, Emmanuel Sanders. He lost his previous number one pass catcher, Kittle. So he didn't really have too much to work with other than Deebo Samuel, and his receivers were just dropping the ball left and right. That being said, I do think that they have a great defense that's going to put them in good offensive positions, and I think that Jimmy G could have a fine game. Who's he going against? Going against the Cardinals. They're terrible against the quarterback. Start up your Jimmy GQ. All right. Next, I'm going to move to wide receivers. This guy might be owned in most leagues, but I do think that you should check out for him. Christian Kirk, the number one wide receiver from last week. A lot of people were hesitant on whether or not they should play him. Why wouldn't you play him? He's playing the Bucs. Of course you're going to play him. But this week he's going against the San Francisco 49ers, and their defense is phenomenal. They locked him down last week. I think Christian Kirk is more of a long-term play, but if he is on your waiver wire, I'd say grab him. Darius Slayton, also, this guy's not playing this week, but he's been playing pretty well. He's a little up and down. By a little, I mean really up and down. 4 points. 19. Yeah, that's nice. 1 point. Oh, that's gross. 34. Very, very good. So I think that moving forward, he'll be a solid play. I have him as a wide receiver 3. He's not, like I said, he's not going to do anything for you this week, but next week, pretty solid. Now the players you can play this week. Deebo Samuel came out firing. 8 receptions, 112 yards. Now, in this game, Emmanuel Sanders was out. So I would preface this with, if Emmanuel Sanders or George Kittle is out, I think that Deebo Samuel is going to be an amazing play. If they both play, meh. But I think that the health of both of those players are up in the air. So he's worth a compensatory add. Also, I want you to check and see if Jamison Crowder is available. Jamison Crowder, last 2 weeks, have been playing fantastic. 22 points, 19 points, 8 receptions, 5 receptions. Loving what I'm seeing out of him. I think that he's a great short pass for Sam Darnold, who seems to be not wanting to throw it down the field. Now let's talk about somebody that's going to be primarily catching the ball down the field. This is a shoot for the stars. I really need a lot of points. I know this guy could bust, but I'm going to lose this week if this guy doesn't score at least 10 to 15. Mecole Hardman. That guy is not consistent, but man, can he catch a deep ball. And he is fast. Did y'all see him just look like... I don't know if y'all saw this. He's running down the field, catches the ball. There is 2 defenders right next to him. And they both look like they could tackle him. And then at some point, it just looks like those guys stop moving. And Mecole Hardman just goes vroom, right past him. Absolutely amazing. This guy's got some speed. I don't think he's as fast as Tyreek Hill, but damn it, he's fast. He may not be a cheetah, but he might be a leopard. This guy's quick. Josh Reynolds, I think that he could be a decent watch, because if Brandon Cook stays out, they're going to have to throw it to somebody. And they're not going to play as bad as they did against the Steelers last week, every week. And if I'm not mistaken, the Rams play the Bears. Yikes. He is more of a hold. I'm not trying to play them against the Bears. I retract that. All right, let's go down to the running back position, and it is rough. I actually think the waiver wire in general this week is pretty bad, but running back is no bueno. Other than Brian Hill, the new running back for the Falcons. Ito Smith is on IR. Devontae Freeman just went down with an injury to his ankle. He should be out a week or two, maybe more. And in that time, I think Brian Hill is going to take over. And he had 20 attempts last week. Love to see that. I don't like the matchups they have coming up, but I do think that volume is king in fantasy football, and I think he's a great ad. He's probably the best ad of the week in the running back position. Adrian Peterson, Mr. AP all day himself, has been playing pretty solid. He's not amazing in PPR, but if you're looking for a solid play that's going to get you 10 to 12, 15, I think that Adrian Peterson can get the job done. He's old, but he's so strong. Beast. Mr. Hall of Famer. I think that he's a solid ad. J.D. McKissick, if you need a flyer that's going to catch the ball. He caught 6 passes last week. I think that was more out of necessity because Ty Johnson went down, but still, got to keep an eye on that, especially in a full-point PPR league. Darius Geis, I'm not sure if he plays this week, but if he does play this week, I'm a little hesitant to play him, but I do think that he is worth being on someone's roster. Let's get down to the tight end. Jacob Hollister came out firing, playing amazing. 8 receptions, 20 fantasy points, 62 yards, and a touchdown. Love to see that. He played fantastic these last 2 games. Last game, he had 19 fantasy points. He had 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions. I think that this is going to be a thing moving forward. I don't think that he's going to be getting 19 to 20 points, but I do think that he can get you about 10 to 12 a week. Josh Gordon still getting involved still getting worked into the offense. Tyler Lockett just went down with an injury. DK Metcalf is good, but I do think that he needs another receiver to throw to, and I think that Jacob Hollister could be that guy. Jack Doyle came through with a touchdown. Tight ends are oftentimes touchdown dependent, so if he scores a touchdown, he's going to be solid. Even if he doesn't score a touchdown, though, I like the targets and the receptions he's getting. 4 to 5 targets in the last 4 games, 3 to 4 receptions. Very solid for a tight end. You don't expect them to get a bunch of targets unless we're talking about Kittle or Travis Kelce. Jared Cook, if he's on your waiver wire, check him out. He had 13 fantasy points. 1 second. He had 13 fantasy points last week. 6 receptions, 74 yards. Very solid. If he's on your waiver wire, I'd play him. Eric Ebron did a little bit of chattering, asking to get the ball. Can't blame him. I mean, if I was playing football, give me the ball every play. Literally, give me the ball every play. Eric Ebron, solid game. He's touchdown dependent normally, but this game, 5 receptions, 58 yards, solid. Mike Gesicki, coming off that great game 2 weeks ago, had a terrible game this week, but tight ends are really volatile, very up and down. I think moving forward, he could be a solid play, but I can understand if you don't want to play him. Defenses. Pittsburgh going against the Browns. They really locked down the Rams. That was disgusting. 25 fantasy points. The Bills did not play well against the Browns this week, but they played okay. 8 fantasy points. But you know what happens when you go against Miami? you shut them down for the most part. I do think that Miami's playing better under Fitzpatrick, but the Bills are a fantastic defense, and so I think that they should run away with that one. New Orleans Saints, I think that is a solid matchup. They're going against the Bucks. Jameis is notorious for turning the ball over. I think the Saints are a fine play. And Washington going against the Jets. The Jets have not looked as good as they should have been looking against these terrible opponents. But I do think that Washington has a chance to have a decent game. It's more of a flyer. And I think that's going to do it with the waiver wire episode. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my social media down below. And good luck on the waiver wire this week, everybody. Peace.